What is doing well, what's holding on to good gains today is Kalpataru Power holding on to strong gains, and this has come in after they have won orders of around 3,244 crores. Now, to understand more in terms of the orders, what does this mean for the company, where have these orders come in from, we're joined by Amit Uplenchwar, Director at Kalpataru Power International, joining in with us. Very good afternoon, sir, and thank you so much for joining in with us on ET Now. And obviously, first this order win, congratulations on the order win. 3,244 crores is the order win that has come in for the company. Could you just give us an understanding of what is the job work for this company? Is it how much is domestic, how much is international? If you could give us an understanding on that.
So thanks a lot, Vinny, for having me on your show and wishing all your viewers a very, very happy New Year in advance. And it's of course a good feeling to have a big order win, when you're closing the year and the new year is upon us. So this is not a single order. It's a basket of orders across our transmission and domestic segment, our building and factory segment, and also our urban infra segment. So we've got a composition broadly. So this will be our largest single largest building project. It's for a very reputed developer in the southern part of our country, and it's 13 million square feet. So it's a huge building project. Our second project in this basket, which we announced, is our first and foray into the underground metro segment using the tunnel boring machine technology. So, this is a very complex in terms of engineering. These are all EPC projects. And the third are our international orders in our transmission and domestic space. So that's how the buildup of this 3,000 odd crores of order book.
Sir, as you're mentioning in your release that the total order inflow so far for FY24 has been close to 17,685 crore rupees. But your order inflow guidance for the full financial year stands at close to 25,000 crore rupees. Are you confident you will be able to get the additional 7-8,000 crore of orders in Q4?
So you're absolutely right. We've, done 17,500 odd crores already. We have a very strong order pipeline in which we are L1. And, plus there are certain more tenders that are going to be opened in February and March of Q4 of this year. And so we are almost certain that we will get to our 26,000 crores of order guidance for this financial year when we close the year.
Could give us an idea of in how like what is the worth of the orders in which you are L1 and what is the worth of the orders for which you have already placed bids?
So, because our Q3 is still not closed and the numbers are not yet computed, but I can't give you an exact number of my L1 position at the moment, but I can tell you that we are in a strong position of L1 in excess of, 4,000 crores plus, and looking at more. So, because we don't have Q3 numbers yet. But looking at this and several tenders that we are also bidding and waiting for bids that have to be opened yet, we are quite confident that 26,000 crores will be achieved by the end of the year.
Right. Sir, also there's one thing that I want to understand, when I'm looking at it for the first half of FY24, almost you've seen a revenue growth of 17%. Your overall guidance for the revenue growth is at around 25% for FY24. Do you think that is an achievable guidance in terms of your revenue growth, or could you expect to see better growth given that more orders would be coming in, or, you've won this recent order as well?
So, Vinny, you're right. We did 17% until now. But those are the lean season because you have monsoon and then you have a lot of these festive season sort of labor migration that happens during the first 2 quarters of every year. Q3 and Q4 are typically always when you do a lot more work than the first half of the year. Having said that, 25% is of course a stretch and a tall target that we had set for ourselves. And looking at where we are today in Q3, we are hopeful that we should be able to get close to or on that 25% mark at the end of the year.
That we had seen something similar to what we had seen in second quarter, confident enough to get 25%.
Yeah, so we are aiming because Q3, Q4, the weather is upon us. The productivity is at the highest in the entire construction space. And so we did 17% up to H1, and we are quite confident that we should be getting to 25% by the end of the year. The
And
order book is with us.
oh, right. So I just want to also know in terms of the profit margins, the PBT margins that you have given a guidance of 4 to 4.5. Will you be able to achieve that higher side of the profit margins?
So I think right now we started out with 4.5%, and I think that is what we are aiming to achieve at the end of the year. And we are confident looking at how we've executed so far and the order booking profile that we have for projects that we intend to close by the end of the year. I think we should be able to get to 4.5%. I'm not sure we'll try and do more, but I think right now I'm happy if I do a 4.5% PBT at our level of project and scale, which would be one of the industry best in my opinion.
Last question from my side at least. The promoter pledge had reduced from 47 to 44.55%, and this was expected to come down further. So has that happened in the third quarter?
So I think currently we stand at 42.4%. So we are close to 42%. And I think sequentially the pledge has been coming down continuously. And that is something that we had aimed to do at the beginning of the year. And so right now, I have to check the precise number, but I think we are at around 42.4% of the pledge. So it has come down from H1 levels. And yeah.
I have a question actually in terms of the opportunity pipeline that actually comes in for Kalpataru. When especially analysts are also highlighting that, you would be a key beneficiary, especially in terms of international T&D, as well as a key beneficiary in terms of domestic business as well. So, given that this is going to be almost a 2.4 trillion rupees capex plan that is there, what is it in terms of the visibility on that front, especially in terms of the capex plan that you have for the transmission projects as well?
So, Vinny, it's a very interesting stat that you yourself are pointing out. We have 500 gigawatts, I'm talking now, in the Indian transmission and substation market of projects that need to be connected to the grid prior to 2031, right? And that is where a large chunk of this 2.4 trillion rupees capex investment has to happen. Being a large player in this space and completely backward integrated with tower manufacturing, I think we will be uh, a beneficiary of this capex spend. Not only in transmission, India, also overseas in Latin America, in Africa, Middle East, there is a resurgence of transmission, and we see a good visibility there. But also in our other segments, to highlight to your viewers, we have right now 22 cities where metros in India are running or are under construction. And I think we're going to have 32 new metros, which are going to add another 1,350 kilometers over the next 5 to 6 years, which have already been announced and in the due tendering process. We have 72 new airports that are coming by year 2025. We have 45 new data centers that are coming, in the next 4 to 5 years, adding another 1,000 megawatts of capacity. So if you see all of these, Railway has announced a huge capex for new lines being put, safety systems, as a result of which there is a 10-year outlay of another 7 trillion rupees in the railway segment. So when you look at all these segments, these are the segments where we are strongly positioned. There have been a large allocation from the center towards projects in the water space, be it water linking, be it river linking, sorry, be it transmission projects, lift irrigation. All of this spend has been continuously happening over the last 2 or 4 years, and we see the same trend to continue over the next 4 to 5 years. In our oil and gas segment, we've been now qualified in several countries other than India, and we are now very, very active in bidding in projects in the Middle East and Africa. And hopefully next year, we should start seeing that taking our oil and gas division also outside of India, which was primarily restricted to India for the last 8 to 10 years.
Right. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us and giving us all that details, and also wish you a very happy new year, sir.
Thank you, and the same to you and your viewers as well.
Well, shifting focus now to an exclusive sources